Hey everyone, today's video is about preparing for your interview questions. In the next couple of days, we're going to look at a different question in each video and how we can best prepare for them. But for today, we're focusing on this question here. Describe yourself. And this is probably the most common thing that will come up in an interview. Therefore, you need to have a good answer for it. So I want you to pause the video and just think for about 30 seconds about how you would answer this question. Obviously, I'm going to give you some help, and I think the main thing to remember here is that this question is a really good chance for you to show the interviewer why you're a good candidate. So it's not just a random question, it's a chance for you to show off your skills and abilities and why that makes you good for this job. So what you want to say is any of your own characteristics or skills that are related to the job you are applying for. You don't really need to mention about your family or growing up or things like that unless you can relate it to the position you are applying for. For example, if you're an early childhood education student, it might be good to mention that you always took care of your siblings or cousins because that's related to the job. But if you study business, then they probably won't care about that stuff. You can mention other interests, but again, keep it related to the position you're applying for. I think though, the one exception to this would be anything related to music, dance, or sporting. The reason why is, for example, for sporting, if you take part in a sports team, it shows that you will probably have some sort of communication, leadership, and teamwork skills. Again, for music or dance, if you have a grade or a certificate in this, it shows that it's something that you can work on every day, you have dedication, and you can improve upon. And these are general skills that apply to almost every job, so that's why they're good to mention. However, besides these, I think you should always keep it specific to the job. So how do we answer this question? I think the first thing to do is to look at the job requirements and see what skills does it require. For example, we have organization skills. If it says that, then you're going to talk about how you're an organized person. You can do this by telling a story about how you became interested in the job itself and how you became an organized person, how you gained the skill, and what motivates you today. So you can tell one main story or a few short stories, and this is a really good chance for you to mention any volunteering or part-time work you've done, especially if you've gained some skills related to the job you're applying for while doing this. Some general advice I would say is create a list of descriptive words about yourself and check those compared to the ones mentioned in the job description. So these can be your main talking points. Anything that in the job description that is the same as how you would describe yourself, this is what you want to talk about. And you can give some short stories about how you have gained or shown these skills. You can also mention some other skills that are not mentioned in the job description, as long as you think it would be beneficial to the position. However, you don't want to give too many stories. You can just list some skills, but you don't have to mention a specific story to each one. And here are some general skills that are good to mention, even if they're not specifically said in the job description. So I'm not going to go through these in detail. You can have a look at it. You can pause the video. You can add them in to your answer anytime you want. So guys, that's my video. Just as a recap, finally, we always want to be professional. Focus on one main story. This main story will contain the skills mentioned in the job description. After that, you can mention one or two short stories and talk about how you gain some other skills. But you always want to be concise and specific and connect your stories to the position.